Yeah, they got it bumping. Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold. Quick to put a dude in this place, he out cold. With a tombstone, grapple the waist, get laid flat. Can't escape, nowhere to go, the cage match. It's on now, when I spot him, it's no problem. Everybody stone cold till they hit with the rock bottom. Sharpshooter, I won't miss him like Bret Hart. Like Al Snow, they gon' need him a head start. I just might catch a better body than Mickey James. Get acquainted with the name, we bringin' the pain. Like Kane in the ring, all I see is red. Paul era, Undertaker, I can see the dead. John Cena putting hands in your face. Ted DiBiase, keep a milli on the waist. B2TF, better stay in your place. Or get smacked down, play it safe, what you talking about?
Welcome to the latest episode of Boot to the Face here on YouTube and all your local podcasting platforms. I'm Chris Rucker along with E.J. Reed. E.J., we are here recording the night of the, well, not the night of the, well, I guess it's election night.
Yeah, it is.
Sometime tonight, maybe until tomorrow, we'll find out who the next president of the United States is going to be. Woohoo!
Yeah, get ready for a lot of Facebook arguing, a lot of divisivity. I might have made that word up, or divisiveness, I mean. Yeah, fun times, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what to say about all this shit anymore. It's just like doesn't even matter. But anyway, by the time this episode drops, you will know who the next president of the United States will be.
You know, this ain't a political show, but you can read in between the lines. All I gotta say is what's right is what's right, and leave people alone and just treat everybody well. That's all I gotta say.
Equality? What? You want equality?
Yeah, who would have thought?
In America? Stop it.
What kind of crazy idea is that?
That's unheard of.
I know, right?
What kind of crazy shit you get into this weekend, EJ?
Not a damn thing, man. It's been pretty quiet on my end. How about you?
We had about 10 people over for brunch on Saturday. My girlfriend's best friend and her husband, they came and stayed the weekend basically. So Friday night they got here and we just went out for, drinks and something right around the corner and then just kind of hung out. Saturday woke up. I made brunch. Everybody showed up about 12:30. Drank a lot, ate a lot. Then we ended up going to get wings at the local, which is Robert, the husband of my girlfriend's best friend. He loves that fucking place. So every time we go, we send him pictures of it and he gets mad. So it's like, we got to go now because you're here. It's not like we got plans. So we go down there and some kind of way. Well, first, Tabitha and Katie ended up sneaking away from the local while we're playing darts. Like, where y'all at? We're like, oh, we're at the tattoo place across the street. So they got tattoos randomly. And then we end up at the Claremont Lounge, which is in Atlanta. Not necessarily Atlanta. What would you call something that's like really popular for the city that you're in?
Like a hotspot, a go-to. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a local, not delicacy, but anyway, Atlanta's known for the Claremont Lounge, and what this is a strip club where it's like a gimmick strip club, like
an attraction.
Yeah. And if you come here, you got to go. It's at the bottom of an old hotel, cash only. Like there's no ATMs, none of that. Like you can't use your card to pay for anything. But it's fun. Like strippers aren't the best looking, but that's the gimmick, right? Like there's a couple of old women there. There's a couple of women with just like ginormous boobs that like crush cans with them, stuff like that. So we went there. That was fun. And then eventually I just had too much to drink and I was like, all right, posse out.
Time to go.
I've called the Uber already. I do not remember the Uber ride home. I don't remember coming in the house. I had the keys because I had to lock the door when we left, so I know I had the keys. And I just remember waking up at like 4 a.m. Like, oh my God, like how did I get in bed? And next to me, there's fucking a to-go thing, a Waffle House grits, sausage, and egg bowl. Apparently, they ordered food while I just came upstairs and passed out. So it's a good time.
Be like that sometimes. Hey,
Yeah.
nothing in the clutch like Waffle House grits and other sides. But what were y'all brunch choice of drinks? Y'all were doing Bloody Marys or mimosas when
Both.
y'all started
I
off?
had so we had 8 bottles of champagne,
Mm,
big ass thing of orange juice, a big handle of Tito's, and then a couple things of Bloody Mary mix, and like, some little garnishes and shit to go in the Bloody Marys. Not a lot of people drink Bloody Marys though. I had one of them,
including
and then
me.
after that, I started drinking. I started drinking rum after that. I wasn't about to drink mimosas, but yeah. And then I was on the Blackstone bacon. I made little sausage, egg, and cheese sliders, pumpkin pancakes that my girlfriend found some recipe, pumpkin oatmeal pancakes. So it's like real pumpkin puree, oatmeal. She like grinded the shit up, and they almost look like oatmeal cookies when I first put them on the Blackstone. They turned out really good too.
Nice.
And then, fruit basket and shit like that. So did pretty good, man. Everybody seems to get along, like her friends, my friends. So it was a good time.
Sounds like it. Sounds like y'all got into it. You switched to rum, spice rum or regular rum?
Yeah, Captain Morgan spice rum.
Okay. Like I said, I feel like rum is a little bit underrated. Not a lot of people do rum, but Captain Morgan spice rum is like almost like a different animal.
I like I like Captain Morgan because when I'm trying to be when I want to drink but I don't want to get too drunk, it's just a little bit under um the alcohol content of like whiskey. I think it's like 35% Captain Morgan is. So I feel like it's a little bit lighter of an alcohol. It's not a lot, but it is a lot, right?
Mhm.
Like because I mean Makers is what, like 46 and a half or some shit like that.
Well, yeah, that's a leg barrel 46 is. I can't remember like the regular maker is. I
No,
think
I
like
think
40.
regular is like 46 or 47 Maker's
Oh,
Mark. Um But yeah, so sip on a little rum, and before you know it, man, they start going down real easy. You lose count of how, especially when you're drinking at home and like
yeah.
partying, you just kind of lose count of how many of them you had. Before you know it, you're fucking at the Claremont Lounge.
Hey, like I said, it'd be like that sometimes. Yeah, Atlanta, strip club capital. You just wander off and land up in a strip club. Like, oh shit, turn down the wrong hallway.
Right? Why is everybody's titties out in here? Like, what is happening?
I was
What
trying
I
to see a
get? Yeah,
movie.
wake up the next day with a little stamp on my on my hand that said no cameras. I'm like, where was I at?
Like, where did y'all take me? Have some couth.
Good time though. Uber. Oh, we always Uber. That was a hefty Uber charge. Oh, and my girlfriend's friend's husband, for some reason he took their car keys with him and lost the keys. And it's
Oof.
a Subaru and it's like programmed. So they're ready to leave Sunday morning. Can't find the keys anywhere. I'm trying to get in touch with the Uber driver to see if he's got them. He's not answering. He still hadn't responded. Um, And then they ended up having to call a specialist to come. I don't even want to know how much it costs. Guy had to come out on a Sunday. Their car was already unlocked. He had to reprogram a key for them just so they could drive home. They said they had like spare keys and shit at home, but they live in South Carolina. So
Mm. My neck was tragic. So what happened? How did that get resolved again?
they had somebody come out and program a brand new key. They had to pay it, but
Jeez.
yeah, hundreds of dollars, I'm guessing.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's always good to have a backup, but I'm sure the backups are expensive too. So
We were watching a little bit of we watched the end of the Georgia Florida game, and then the South Carolina game came on. He's a big Gamecocks fan, so
nice.
we were over there watching that, and I'm looking around like, where'd the girls go? They're across the
Apparently,
street getting.
I'm about to say, apparently, people lost their damn minds at the Florida Georgia game. As far as
Oh, I
like
saw
the
the
crowd,
cops beating up people, and
yeah, two separate incidents. One I
yeah,
think was justified because uh, what the dude wouldn't get out. He was in an unauthorized section, and it was a black cop. We called a black cop the N word, hard ER.
Is that what happened? The one that tased him?
Yeah, that's the tasing one.
Okay, see, I lay in bed some mornings before I go to work, and obviously, like I get up a lot earlier than Tabitha does. So I lay in bed, just kind of like scroll the internet to kind of wake up, but I won't have the sound on. And I watched that video without the sound on. I'm like, this cop is losing his fucking mind. Why? Now it makes sense.
Okay, so, hey, I'm sure the cop probably still get in trouble, but hey, that's what happens when you talk reckless and think you
He
above
said
the
the
law.
magic word.
Yep. Now the one that happened like on the below deck, I saw the cops just brawling. I have no idea what happened with that one.
Yeah, it was two cops, right? One had one guy over on the steps beating his ass, and the other
Yeah.
one was.
I
Yeah,
don't
it
know what
was
happened with that one. That looked a little excessive, but I don't know all the facts. So.
Florida fans.
Exactly. The team wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, even after Beck throwing 3 picks. But, yeah,
He is
sports.
just not good, man. He ain't it at all. Like, he's what's gonna stop Georgia from winning this year.
Hey, that's how good your team is. You can overcome that. Still only have 1 loss. I mean, still in a good position. It's gonna be interesting. This 12-team payoff. I think it's too many teams, but money talks.
I might as well switch towards college football because they ain't shipping me in the pros right now.
Oh yeah, we'll get to that during the picks. But,
I know who I won't be picking the next 4 weeks.
you don't say.
Let's get into some wrestling, EJ. A lot went down this past weekend. WWE was over in Saudi Arabia. They had 3 shows over there. I think it's the first time they've done that, isn't it?
Yeah, I've never seen them do a Raw. I think recently they may have done a SmackDown, but I think this might be the first time they've done Raw over there.
You know what? I'm sorry. They didn't do 3 shows. They did 2. They pre-recorded
SmackDown the week
last
before,
week.
yeah.
So they stayed for Raw. But yeah, they were over there this weekend. You had what they call AEW last week?
The Fright Night.
Fight night. Yeah, Wednesday fight night or whatever. That was pretty
Fright
good.
Night,
I was just
I guess
sitting here
because of
thinking.
Halloween. I said Fright Night, I guess because of the Halloween the next day. FRIT.
I was just sitting here going over my my power rankings trying to get people, and I was like, oh shit, I forgot. You know, Swerve and Shelton wrestled last weekend, and Lashley debuted, and so let's jump into that. Let's start on Wednesday. How'd you feel about Fright Night? A couple different things happened that we can talk about. You had tag team titles changing hands. You had Lashley debuting. You know, Swerve beating Shelton, Statlander pinning Camille. Like, that was an action-packed show on Wednesday.
Yeah, it was. I mean, they're trying to do a better job of weaving stories and focusing on more than one stories and having multiple things going on. So I'll applaud them for that. Overall I enjoyed the show. Adam Cole was who did he face again? Oh, what's the guy's name from the House of Black, right?
Oh, Buddy Matthews.
Buddy Matthews, yeah. That was cool. And then you had Orange Cassidy kicking it off, giving his mission statement. I feel like that was pretty significant. What do you think about Orange Cassidy kind of being in the forefront?
I like it. I'm excited to see a more serious version of Orange Cassidy. The problem with AEW is their baby faces are so small. Like Orange Cassidy, Darby Allin, Adam Cole, like everybody's a twink.
Definitely. This is a nuanced combo because the whole company though is not the land of the giants. It's saying 97 WCW, but
they're especially small.
For some reason, it doesn't bother me with certain guys. Adam Cole, for some reason, it does bother me a little bit. He's a little bit undersized. I guess maybe his style. For some reason, because Darby's a lot undersized too, but for some reason it doesn't bother me with Darby. And it bothers me with Jungle Boy though, so I don't know. I just got my brain is wired weird. And as far as Orange Cassidy, I don't really know. I'm kind of indifferent.
I mean, they're going to be going up against the BCC, so it's like it's going to be a ridiculous size difference when they all kind of square off. I don't know. It just kind of takes me out of it. It shouldn't, but it does. Like, I think Orange Cassidy is a great mid card babyface. I don't think main event. Now, a couple years ago when he had that title match with Kenny Omega and Pac, I was like, halfway through the match, I was like, put the fucking belt on him. Because he can wrestle his ass off. But it's just like in a storyline like this where it's about violence and like fighting for what's right and all that, he's just so small. Like it's noticeable to me.
For some reason, I don't think it'll bother me too much because he's going against BCC. I mean, they're bigger, but it really bothers me is that just on these random like dynamites that if you were to like to go in a coma back in the mid '90s and woke up and watched these matches, it'd be like Orange Cassidy or Jungle Boy versus Brian Cage or Darby versus the Murder Hawk. And you're like, all right, it's gonna be a squash match, and then you see 9 times out of 10 these little guys winning. I'm like, all right, every single time these monsters lose to these guys, that's kind of what bothers me the most.
Yeah. Even if you had like shit, I don't know. I can't even think of anybody like off the top of my head right now. Even MJF, if he was a face, it would be more like not MJF as a wrestler, but just MJF's body type. Like he ain't the biggest guy either, but he's bigger than these guys. Like,
yeah.
Anyway, that's just my take on it.
Is it this past Wednesday where Darby came from the rafters?
Yeah, where he almost got stuck on the way down. And when he got down there, they whooped his ass.
Some reason I still pop when he came down, especially because I've been watching all these Nitro. He did get his ass whooped. Yeah, he
couldn't even get him unhooked.
He had the
fucking
harness on
Cesaro said, "I'm not waiting on this shit." And threw his ass over the railing.
He had the harness on for a while, but yeah, we talked about this before. I think this is like the second time post Sting that he's done it. I like how Sting kind of passed that down to him, and going back to my viewing, when I've been watching a lot of Sting coming from the Raptors. Sting, when he came down the Raptors, he unhooked himself, but he still had the harness on, and they were doing some wild shit back then. Like he hooked DDP.
Oh yeah,
like carried him with him like that,
and took him back up. Yeah, that was the first because he never went back up. He would always just come down and hit that little latch and then start whooping ass. He never got somebody, but they did that night. I was like, oh my god, that's dangerous as shit.
Yeah, that did not look safe at all. But
DDP's trusting Sting, who's not a fucking I don't even know what the word is for what they do.
A professional.
Yeah, he's not a professional at it, and you're trusting him to just haul your ass back up to the top of the rafters.
Yeah, so but yeah, going back to Darby, yeah, he had a little bit of trouble, but I don't know, man. Like I'm thinking this will probably go to Revolution. It'd be cool if they went all the way to Double or Nothing, if they could find a way to do the story, but it can't end at World End. I hope they don't get itchy trigger fingers and try to wrap it up at World End.
Nah, they got a lot going on. They still got to get the Young Bucks involved in it.
Yeah.
Omega's got to come back eventually.
Yeah.
Will Ospreay's got to get involved in it. Now, Ospreay is a good babyface to fight from below like that. But he'll be involved with Kyle Fletcher when he gets back.
Unless they don't give a fuck and trying to bury guy. I just got a feeling somehow Darby's gonna maybe get it because John Moxley said you'll never be world champion. Like, why would he say that unless Darby eventually gonna overcome it?
Yeah, he could be right.
Unless he's just that much of an asshole. But yeah, man, I'm intrigued by it.
Then we get to Friday night, SmackDown, Bloodline. Actually, you know what? Let's talk Bloodline after we talk Crown Jewel. Let's get to these WWE releases that you got down here, EJ. The one I stood out to me was my boy Baron Corbin Jack of all trades, Baron Corbin. Anything you give me, I'm gonna make gold out of it, Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't surprised, but it seemed like after all these years that, you know, he was pretty good up there, that they wanted to just have him around as a good hand. But, they weren't really using him. I didn't know the releases were coming, but when I saw his name on the list, I wasn't like shocked. It's because they hadn't been using him like that. And they had him down at NXT. He did his thing with Braun Breaker. He came back up and was doing some weird thing with Apollo Crews and had him as a babyface. He's just like one of those guys that's just a perennial heel. He could do different types of heel. He could do comedy heel. He could do serious beat your ass heel. But having him in that weird babyface mold was, just a little bit weird. But like you said, he's good at everything, and he's not a bad. And then like that Happy Corbin, that was good shit. Bum ass Corbin was good shit. So.
I just remember they needed a heel for the first episode on Fox to be opposite Becky Lynch and The Rock. And they had Baron Corbin out there talking shit to The Rock. And I was like, this might be Baron Corbin's year. Like, wouldn't it be? But yeah, man, I was a big Corbin fan. His Instagram's pretty good too. He used to play pro football, so he's already got money. Got a big, nice house with a big outdoor kitchen. He's always out there smoking cigars, drinking whiskey, and fucking grilling and smoking meat and shit. And I'm just like, my kind of guy right there. Like, I can hang out with Baron Corbin.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to see him in AEW. They, especially because they already jam packing mail. This is the default answer, but TNA stint, maybe go to New Japan. I think TNA would be a really good fit for him.
If he even cares, like I said, Baron's got money. Like, he don't need to keep wrestling.
Yeah, but I don't think he's even 40 yet. I don't think he just want to stay at home.
Why?
I mean, it sounds fun. Like, I hit the lotto and I'm just stay home. But he's still young. You still want to be productive. Like, that's how people end up, a little bit older, but they ended up dying just sitting around doing nothing.
I ain't say sitting around doing nothing. You're just not a pro wrestler anymore. I don't even think Corbin's the type that like loves pro wrestling. Like, he came from that basically WWE's NIL before the NIL. Like, he came from the pros, learned how to wrestle, got good at it. Like, I don't think this was his dream job.
Well, he just turned 40. I thought he was a little older than I thought. Like, he's a little bit younger. But yeah, I mean, if he doesn't want to wrestle, then yeah, just enjoy your life. But if he still wants to do it, I'm just saying there's avenues he can go down. So, but two women got released too, right?
Yep. You had Tegan Knox and Indy Hartwell.
Indy was just on TV. I mean, I think she ended up appearing after the release news because it was pre-recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I made a joke on, it wasn't Boot to the Face Discord, maybe another group, and I was like, it's before the releases. I'm like, man, I wish I could just show up to work 3 minutes and get a fat check like Indy does, because they only had her in the segments, not really wrestling. Maybe I just
looked at TKO, saw that shit.
Yeah,
they like, speaking of,
but yeah, you hate to see people get released. A lot of these women don't even get to, really hit their peak when they get released. And I know Tegan, she was had some injuries, maybe that played into it. But I mean, Indy was a former NXT Women's Champion, even though she didn't have it long.
Yeah, that was the shitty thing about her. She had that really good moment winning the belt, and then they drafted her to the main roster.
Yeah.
Like the following week, and then she got injured, and it was like, what the fuck was the point of giving her the belt if you were going to draft her to the main roster? Vince was just doing some stupid shit on his way out, man.
He had scatterbrain, like unorganized, didn't know what to do. Probably didn't watch NXT. That was the biggest thing. A lot of things were
probably saw her walking by. Who's that?
Yeah.
Let's get her on the main roster. Can she go?
Creepy ass motherfucker. But yeah, but don't I think AEW could use all the women they could try to get. So I've said this for a long time, even though they have trillion belts. I want to see them actually have a women's tag division. Those two would be perfect gets to that. You got Deanna and Taya going around with the tag team, and Harley and Paige, Saray, I mean. So you could have a pretty solid tag team division. Anna Jay just lost. I'm sure she's got a friend she could tag up with, so you can still facilitate the storylines when somebody's not in the women's or TBS title if you had a tag team division. So that's what I'm. And if you go and Google it, there's plenty of articles with different women in AEW saying they want a tag team division. So Tony Khan does other absurd things with creating belts and stuff. This actually makes sense, and he's dragging his feet on it. So I'd like to see that get done.
Yeah, I'm liking AEW's women's division lately. I think they're hitting their stride finally.
Yeah. What's been piquing your interest the most out of there? What's going on in there?
I mean, you got the whole mid card thing that I say mid card, but Mercedes is definitely not a mid carder, but she's got the mid card title.
Mm-hmm.
The women's championship, actual multiple storylines going on. And then you got the stuff on Collision with like uh Cameron. What's her first name?
Harley Cameron, Thunder
Yeah.
Rosa. That was
Yeah, you
that
got
was good.
stuff going on with them. Like they actually have multiple storylines going on with women, like for a couple weeks now, and I'm digging it, man. I think they're hitting their stride finally. They're figuring out how to get more than one or two women segments and matches on TV every week. You had Statlander just beat Camille, and now she's probably coming after Mercedes. So yeah, they're finally cooking, and this is without. Oh, then you got Jamie Hayter and Penelope Ford
Yeah,
got a program going on. I didn't even think about that one. Like,
yeah.
there's just all kind of shit going on.
And I'm not mad at Mercedes' position because you got people, I don't know, they might, there might be some tribalism involved. They're like, this run ain't been it. I'm like she's in the place where she needs to be with the TBS title. Because if they would have shot her right to the belt, they'd be complaining, oh, she's just in there taking other women's spot. She'll eventually get to the world title, and she's, letting her cook with the TBS title. And I feel like I mean, it hasn't been like the greatest, but it's been good. She's been putting on good matches and just playing her part for right now.
Yeah, I like it too. Um, like you said, people can say what they want about her being annoying and her promos aren't good and all of that, but then they ring the bell and she's the best one they got.
Yeah. So, and then she finally stop doing that move too. I want to say she was
Oh,
doing the bank statement recently.
thank God.
That was my biggest gripe, mainly as far as the entering, and I feel like she did the submission. So
That move
keep
is
it up.
so fucking complex and complicated. Like, you don't have to do that. Just pick a different move. Just do a DDT.
Yeah, keep it simple. But this wasn't on the docket. Did you see rumors saying ROH probably might like really going to True TV?
Oh, I didn't know it was True TV they were going to. I did see ROH might be getting a TV contract pretty soon, though.
Yeah, True TV is Warner Family. That makes sense, and that's why they're saying that's why Jericho has the belt. Like that's such a old school mentality. I get it, but I can see 2019 Jericho. But they really
Yeah.
think this 2024 version of Jericho is moving the needle that he's going to draw eyes that people to come watch ROH. I think people who want to watch it are going to watch it. They're not going to come just because it's Jericho.
They might not
Whatever.
watch it because of
Yeah,
Jericho.
it might be the opposite. But that's dope if it's actually happened. I wonder if it's
Yeah,
gonna be 1 hour, 2 hour. I think it should keep it 1 hour.
they
Old
should
school
definitely
NXT.
keep it 1 hour.
That'd be dope if it does happen. Like I said,
And I still can't believe Athena is still in ROH after the good of work she's been doing the past year or so. Like, we've talked about this. I was never really a fan of her until this ROH run. I'm like, she kind of cooking down there.
yeah, that'd be great for her if they got the TV deal. And I feel like if they do get it, they should do a hard separate. Like have them be on there. Don't I hate like them having the belts on AEW TV. Keep it there. You don't really
Yeah.
see NXT belts on WWE TV like that. But good for them if it's true.
Um, I passed right over this when we were talking AEW. Uh, Swerve Strickland beats Shelton Benjamin, and Bobby Lashley shows up, and apparently business is back booming, or whatever the hell MVP said.
What about him channeling his inner Paul Heyman with the phone? Lights come out. A lot of people chiming in on that.
I don't understand the phone call. Like, if Lashley was there, he wasn't watching in the back, and they couldn't have been like, all right, if Swerve wins, you just come out and we're going to beat his ass. He had to fucking.
Well, kayfabe, they probably thought Shelton was going to win, so they didn't even have a backup plan.
Yeah, but he was still there. Like, he should have took it upon himself. Why do you have to have it? I don't know. It was stupid. I thought when he first pulled his phone out and started talking, I was like, damn, I guess Lashley ain't here. He's calling him to come like next week or something like that.
That's what I thought too. It got me on that one.
So I guess maybe that was the point of it, was a little pull the wool over your eyes and then Lashley come out. But man, it sure is good seeing the Hurt business back together. I know Cedric Alexander in NXT, like, fuck.
Hey, he's gonna win the tag team belts with Javon Evans, young boy. But yeah, Cedric. But you know, he's probably good on that side because Tony was talking reckless about his wife. Like I'm good over here.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I'm optimistic about it because like it's complicated because Lashley still looks like $100 million. He'd be a credible champion, but like it's all about timing. When would he even get in the title opportunity? You know, of course he's the leader of the group.
I feel like if they got one more guy, because MVP's not wrestling, so if they got one more guy to join the group, they kind of run roughshod parallel with the BCC. They never really cross paths. And then one random night, BCC's out there whooping ass, kind of like Retribution was back then. And you just hit the Hurt Business's music. And it's just like, oh, fuck. Don't even let them touch. Just let them fucking slowly walk down there, get in the ring, and let the BCC back off. And that's how you end the show. You got an instant fucking feud right there. But give it a couple months. Don't rush it. Like, get Shelton back. You know, the thing about Shelton wrestling Swerve, it was too soon because he had just had really good matches with Leo Rush and with Sammy Guevara. I feel like he needed a couple more wins before he took his first loss because it was just like same old Shelton. But it's not. Like, he's wrestling different than he has been. He's looking different. Like, and I mean, Shelton's a big dude, but in AEW, he looks real fucking big.
Yeah. You know, they'll probably want to get their, money's worth with Lashley. He's just sitting around. He probably was signed a while ago. I mean, like you said, they could have had Shelton face him, Swerve at what's this paper, Full Gear, and then they could have, they're probably going to have Swerve and Lashley. They could do that World's End, but I'm guessing they're doing Lashley and Swerve at Full Gear. So yeah, they could have built it up a little bit, but like I said, Lashley's probably getting the itch. He was just sitting at home, and Full Gear wasn't until the end of the month. So yeah,
maybe they're gonna do Swerve like old school gang initiation. You got to jump him, man.
I was gonna say, like, what direction you think they might go to? Just go the route and have Swerve just eventually join them, just how they beat Cedric in, or somebody that we're not thinking of, like a Hobbs or something.
I would love it to be Hobbs whenever he's healthy, though. If he's healthy enough to come back yet, I think that would be great. And I don't want to do what we always accuse other people of doing, just putting all the black people together. But the Hurt Business is a black group.
Yeah.
Like, they're not the Nation of Domination. They're just a bunch of black dudes, fucking kick ass, look good in suits, and try to win championships. I like it. So I think Hobbs would be a good addition. But I would like Swerve to do it. But like, I don't know. I think Swerve is kind of like Jey Uso to me. Like, he finally left all his factions, got over, and now he's over more than he ever has been. Like, I kind of don't want him to fall back into a faction.
I don't either, because who's the leader? Like Swerve, former champion. Like him and Lashley would kind of clash as far as like the alpha male leader of their group. So I feel like he should just do his own thing.
Yeah.
Like bring in somebody like a Hobbs. I think that'd be dope. But like I say, I'm
Jewel was
optimistic.
this weekend also.
What
Over
was
in
that?
Saudi Arabia. I had that on a little bit during brunch, but we weren't really paying attention to it. Like, there's a couple wrestling fans here, but it was just like we had other shit going on. So I woke up Sunday morning and watched it with a hangover slightly. But I thought it was pretty good. I thought it was good. I'll take that back. It was a good presentation. It looked big time. But I don't know. I just felt like the endings were stupid to some of the matches.
Yeah, I'm in that same boat. It was
Like nothing progressed.
it was like solid pay-per-view. Nothing I'll go back to. Like you said, nothing really progressed outside maybe the first match, and it was yeah.
I was just about to say the biggest news of the night was the fact that Roman was the curtain jerker and he lost.
Yeah. Only second pin in 4 years or whatever. I was surprised to see that. Oh yeah, third.
He got pinned by Jay. Jay
Oh yeah,
was the
he
person
did.
who
Yeah, he
pinned him in
did.
years. Then he lost to Cody. Now he
And
lost
that
to Solo.
yeah, it was Jay in that tag team match. Right. Yeah, I mean it is what it is. We know what these pay-per-views are. They're almost like uh, house shows on steroids, and
Yeah.
the Carmelo three-way, that was pretty good though as far as entering stuff.
Yeah, but then LA Knight won.
Oh, you already knew that was happening. I told you that was happening in the prediction.
I
No,
feel
I
like they
didn't. I
never
picked Carmelo. I
changed.
picked Carmelo just to be different, but I knew LA was winning. What were you gonna say?
Liv gets the Crown Jewel women's title and Cody gets the Crown Jewel men's title. And then they get Super Bowl rings to go with them because they can't bring the belts back.
Yeah, and I saw the video of Cody putting it on. He could barely get that thing on his finger. They gonna have to resize that. And you know they got money. Apparently, you know how many carats. Like it's like legit and whatnot. They got basically unlimited money over there. So, but I guess they keep if you keep winning these title matches over there, you just keep collecting rings. That's interesting. Are they gonna make them? Are they gonna make them win the rings on TV all the time too?
I wonder if Braun Strowman still has that fucking green title that he won.
I'm sure he does. Probably
That
somewhere in
fucking greatest Royal Rumble championship or whatever when they first got over there.
there. Yeah.
Did you see how big those fucking belts were?
Yeah. Apparently have how many whatever diamonds in it? It's crazy.
I just meant the sheer size of the belts. So they didn't even look wearable. Cody put his on, almost fell over.
Yeah. They really went all out when making those titles, but yeah, it's over. The Crown Prince wanted it to be all flashy, so you gotta do what the Crown Prince wants over there.
Man, I would love to sit ringside at a WWE show in a recliner.
That's what they were sitting in.
Yeah, the ones that are ringside up there, they got recliners over there. One, because you'd be comfortable. Two, you wouldn't be fucking shoulder to shoulder with some sweaty neckbeard that's been saving up for 3 years to come here but hadn't showered lately. Because that always happens when you sit on the floor. It's fucking annoying.
Yeah, you have a good point on that one. I'm not even gonna argue that.
Um, so talking about Crown Jewel, we already kind of touched on it a little bit. This Bloodline storyline. So the new Bloodline gets the win, Solo, big time, pins Roman, and they decide we're just gonna beat his ass some more. And then they end up getting the upper hand on Roman and the Usos and outrun Sami Zane. I didn't like it.
Why not?
Just like I talked about last week, I feel like we're missing pieces. Like Sami Zane was telling Jay, "Hey man, you don't need to go back to your family. Like fuck them." And then he's outside talking to Solo, and he comes out and saves Jay from Solo. Like we missed something in between.
What are we missing between though?
Some kind of decision where Sammy was like, "Okay, never mind. I'm gonna go help Jay." Or a conversation with Sammy and Jay, like, "Yo, what was you doing talking to Solo?" "Oh yeah, he just rolled up on me and he was saying some wild shit. But man, be careful out there. I'm gonna be watching your back, but be careful. You know you can't trust Roman, and you definitely can't trust Solo and all of them. So watch your ass."
Yeah. I got a feeling that, we still got some detailed, nuanced stuff that happens in between now and Survivor Series. And like you said, maybe that's why you feel like something's missing, but maybe they're gonna fill it in within the next 2-3 weeks to get us there. And I guess it kind of took a step on Monday, but
Yeah.
Sammy said, "I'm out."
I was just about to say they're trying. It's not as I said this last week. It's wrestling, so you got to kind of temper your expectations with logic. But the Bloodline storyline is so good, like I'm expecting more from them. But they are doing certain things, like Jay telling Roman on SmackDown, like, "Man, I ain't forget all the shit you did to me. Like, you even look at me wrong. I'm out." And he told Roman, "If you don't like it, you can leave." I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense. And then Sammy being like, "Jimmy, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you invited me into the family, and then as soon as shit got tough, you super kicked me. And when shit got weird with you and Roman, you super kicked him. And then when your brother's about to win the belt, you super kick him. If can't nobody be trusted, it's your motherfucking ass."
That was the best point that was made, and Jimmy didn't really have a good reply to that. He like kind of changed the subject after that.
Yeah, what could he say? Even Jay was standing there like, kind of looked at him like, "Damn, oops."
You have a point. Yeah. Now that we know that what's going to happen at Survivor Series, I'm just kind of curious on how we get there, and if we get another Dwayne appearance, maybe at Survivor Series. Where is this at? Canada?
I think it's in Montreal, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
in one. It is in Canada. I'm pretty sure.
And yeah, OG Bloodline, new Bloodline. Like we thought, Sammy back in the fold. I'm sure he's gonna come around sooner than later.
And I did like how Roman and Jay weren't just automatically getting along during that match either. Like
Yeah,
it was kind of a little bit of tension, even though Jimmy and Jay are kind of showing off, like doing all the old school Uso moves, and Roman's just kind of standing there like a dad mad at his kids. They fucking not getting in the car after leaving the park. Like, "I told y'all, get y'all's ass in the car 10 minutes ago." "But Dad, watch this."
that's funny. Yeah, didn't they used to tag the 6 man back when they had the face paint and stuff, and Roman was a baby face, and they tagged back in the day?
Yeah, they had a few. They was actually called the Bloodline.
Oh yeah,
When Roman won the belt and AJ Styles challenged them, and the Good Brothers came, they were jumping Roman, and the Usos came out and helped them. And then it was like a 3 month feud with Roman, AJ, and the Bloodline and the Good Brothers.
they were called the Bloodline, but they didn't have. It was like almost unofficial. They didn't have no merch.
Yeah, they didn't have a graphic, but Roman said it before, and then I think Michael Cole said it a bunch on commentary.
Just to tie it all back in with WCW story. X-Pac, Nash, and Hall were the Wolfpack. And months later, it was officially labeled once they split off and did Red and Black.
Yeah.
There's the correlation. See how we do here? Tie it all in. But yeah, like you said, I like that. How him and Jay weren't on the same page, and you had the. Didn't he tag himself in? Didn't Jay tag himself in at one point? Or
I can't remember. Like I said, I was drunk watching parts of it, and I was hungover watching the rest of it. I just remember there was like, even at the beginning, Jay was like, "Let me start." And Roman was just kind of like, I don't know. Roman's been real standoffish.
Yeah, but he only said one word on SmackDown. All he said was "yeet," right?
Yeah, he's been very like stoic and just not very like, the Usos showing off and shit. And he's just kind of standing there. He's just like, whatever, just tag me in so I can whoop somebody's ass. Almost like he don't even want to be there. Like, I can't believe I'm back with these motherfuckers. We had it all. Now look at us losing the goddamn Solo Sikoa.
Uh, and did you see the interview Solo afterwards in the back? I think Jackie, maybe Jackie Redmond,
No,
and he
Solo
was
been
like,
showing out on the
"Yeah."
interviews.
He was like, surprised. You shouldn't be surprised. I told you this was gonna happen." And you got Jacob in the back being menacing, and then at the end he scream, "I love you, Solo." Shit's just hilarious for some reason. Just screaming it randomly like a maniac.
Who's that, Jacob?
Yeah, Jacob, "I love you, Solo."
That's funny.
Yeah.
Solo's been really good on the mic lately. Just and even off mic when he's just like saying, like when he came in for Jay's, like, I got a ticket. He got a ticket. You like, damn, Solo got personality. Who knew?
You know, I'm surprised that something they haven't brought in yet is I'm surprised they hadn't brought in Rikishi yet.
And Rikishi can barely walk.
Oh, he's that bad? Damn. Yeah, that's why.
I mean, I don't know. I'm just saying he's big as shit. Like, and older now.
I don't want him to
Last time he was on TV, he could barely do that damn dance. That was like 10 years ago.
Yeah, I see clips of that with the Usos, the hats. But no, not to get physical, just to do some storyline stuff.
Nah, they don't need Rikishi.
But one thing, I wonder where's the wise man at?
That's probably who's gonna be the one to tie it all together on SmackDown.
Yeah, he
I
likes
can
Sami
see
for
it
some reason.
like Sammy arguing with Jimmy, Jay arguing with Roman, Roman telling Sammy this, and they all about to butt heads, and all of a sudden you hear, "Ladies and gentlemen."
Yeah.
Well, thinking about this, if you remember, and this is probably something that's gonna get left by the wayside. If you remember when Jay, the first time he left the Bloodline, they were trying to get him to come back. He had this beef with Paul Heyman that was like unexplained. He kept telling him he was a rat, and like the only way I'm coming back to the Bloodline is if your ass ain't here. Like that was never explained though why Jay hated Paul Heyman so much.
Yeah, you're right. That's a good point that you bring up. They never tied that all together. And maybe they'll explain it now. Maybe it'll be a double cross. He goes with the new bloodline.
Yeah.
But then it'd be like kind of top heavy if we're expecting a Rock to be like the head honcho of the new bloodline. Having Paul Heyman might be a little overkill, right?
I feel like even with The Rock, you still expect the original Bloodline to come out on top. So putting the Heyman over there would, like, now Roman doesn't have his wise man. Him, Jimmy, and Jay don't trust each other. Sammy's, doing his thing too. Now there's dissension, and the other Bloodline is just like a well-oiled machine with The Rock and with Paul Heyman now. Like, I'm so much more powerful than Roman. I took his fucking wise man.
Yeah, that'd be something to overcome. But like you said, Roman been stoic, but I like how they like haven't really tinkered with his character and try to make him be like some type of uber baby face and trying to get pops from the crowd. He is what he is and still the most over person in the company. So just stay the course, keep doing what they do.
Street Clothes Wrestler of the Week.
I think I went first last week.
Then I will go first this week, and I will go with a woman we spoke about earlier, Mercedes Moné. Or Monet. Is it money or Monet?
I hear it pronounced differently every time, so whatever you choose. What was her wardrobe?
She was out there ringside with Camille versus Statlander. She had a little dress type thing on, kicked them heels off, started whooping Statlander's ass.
Oh, yeah.
Told Camille, "Get your ass to the back." I was like, damn, what's gonna happen with that next week?
Yeah,
Like she was dressing Camille down.
that's another little fool in the story. I'm sure Camille's gonna break off from her, and maybe that's who takes the TBS title off of her.
Yeah.
And have
Maybe
have her
they
try.
don't wait like they did with Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker, and they actually do this one.
Ugh. Yeah, that's dead. Oh, and what happened to Britt Baker? Came back and disappeared. We know now. We know who the problem is. We have so many examples. So yeah, that kind of bothers me. Now you bring it up. You bringing back old feelings. Like they never tied that
Opening up
story
old
up.
wounds and shit.
Yeah. I mean, injury had to do with it, but Britt's all over the place. I think she's worried about her practice more than she is wrestling. But at least she has a backup plan, so I can't knock her for that. But
You know what she reminds me of? And this is just me reading and hearing like how she is backstage. It almost like she reminds me of the Macho Man. Like just paranoid about her spot, getting into it with everybody. You know, Macho Man was like real paranoid about people talking to Elizabeth and him getting out of the main event and who he could trust and all that. I feel like Britt Baker's kind of like that backstage. Like she just doesn't get along with anybody. It seems like at least that's what they say. I don't know because I'm not there, so I'm not reporting the facts. I'm just regurgitating the shit that got reported.
maybe and her and Cole are quietly not together anymore. But it's off subject. I didn't know Macho Man was like that because from what I'm hearing, the WCW version of him, he was all about getting people over as far as like the newer talent.
He's all about getting DDP over. It's like, DDP will tell you a really good story about him and Macho Man, but he was very particular.
He took
All the stories I heard, even more so in WWF than WCW, but even in WCW, like they talk about how intense he was and, you know, didn't take a joke, shit like that. Only with certain people though, like apparently he got along really well with Sting, which everybody fucking gets along with Sting, they say. Um, and then DDP was, I'm trying to think where I heard this at. He was talking about the feud with him and Macho Man and how Macho Man made sure that he lost to the Diamond Cutter. He was supposed to lose to a roll up, and he was like, "No, he's got to hit me with the Diamond Cutter." And that feud was really good. I don't know if you got to that part of WCW yet, but
yeah, they tied at 1-1, and what I just watched it, he just got pinned clean in the ring by Giant. I'm finishing up Road Wild right now.
yeah. And DDP said, how I'm trying to remember how the story went. I think he said it was like Thanksgiving. He gets a voicemail. Back in the day, not even a voicemail. He get a message on his answering machine,
Mm-hmm.
and he played it, and it's Macho Man. And Macho Man's like, just want to tell you thank you, and I appreciate you. Because I can't remember, DDP did something. I think he like told Macho Man like, I appreciate everything you've done for my career and blah blah blah. Like, and Macho Man called him and left him the message, and he said he played it for somebody. I can't remember who it was. Maybe it was Jake the Snake Roberts or somebody. He's like, Macho Man ever released something like that for you? And he's like, fuck no, I ain't never heard him talk like that. So DDP said he had a lot of respect for DDP for whatever reason. And I wish I knew where I could find that because it was a really good story DDP told. And, DDP can talk his ass off when he gets going. So maybe it was on the Steve Austin show back in the day. But yeah, Macho Man he's a different cat, man. Like people loved him, but people didn't feel comfortable around.
Yeah. And kind of going all over the place. It's kind of fascinating how DDP ended up where he ended because he was a bouncer. Like you usually see it with women, like they get on as a manager and then they learn how to wrestle. You don't really see with guys. He got on as a manager and was learning how to wrestle after already getting hired. Like he didn't have any wrestling experience before getting in the wrestling business. And when did he finally debut?
30s.
Yeah, when did he finally debut actually wrestling? if you can recall.
I can remember seeing him in like 91, 92 on WCW Saturday Night. Maybe even earlier than that. I want to think Sting was the world champion after beating Flair, and he had a match or two with DDP on WCW Saturday Night. That had to be 1990.
Because from what I was reading, that he was just the manager of the Diamond Mine, not wrestling. He was like learning while he was managing. He was actually learning. But I guess was managing even before that. I know they said he was AWA with Kurt Hennig and whatnot, and then so I guess 90-ish is when he finally stepped in the ring. That's still crazy though.
Yeah, and to be the age he was to finally start wrestling, and then like, yeah, you'll just have the TV title. Don't try to look too further than that. And he's like, fuck that, I want the U.S. title. So he ended up getting that, and then he gets the world title, and I was just like, damn, good for DDP.
I did not like his first world title. When he finally won it, they had him do it as a heel, even though he was like, I say like the pecking order, because I'm literally watching week to week. As far as most over, it's Sting. Sting is the most over. Then DDP, and then for some reason people forget about how over Roddy Piper is. He's like third as far as the pops go.
I thought Luger was top 3.
I said Luger is 4. It's like him and Roddy was like Roddy chants were crazy.
Yeah, I think Roddy was more of a nostalgia thing. Luger was I got built up with WCW versus the NWO thing. I think Roddy Piper was just we get to see Roddy Piper and Hogan again, but it was trash. Then they brought in the Ultimate Warrior.
Yeah. So like you said, you can interchange Roddy and Luger, but yeah, DDP. Then like he had stuff with Goldberg. He lost to Goldberg trying to get the world title at Havoc. Then they did the heel with him and Canyon and Bigelow, and I think that's when he finally won the title. Like, should have struck when the iron was hot when he was super over babyface. What I know.
Yeah. I think all his title wins he was a heel.
Yeah.
And he had that night on Nitro. I'm guessing you're not there yet either, where he wrestled Sting for the world title. Yeah. Sting took the belt from him, and then like Ric Flair was the president and made them fight in the main event in a 4-way between Sting, DDP, Goldberg, and Kevin Nash. And then he got the fucking title back at the end of the night. So Sting had the belt for like 2 hours.
I'm still at 97. Once I get to the finger poke of doom, that's where I'm stopping.
I feel like it was still WCW was still pretty decent through the end of 99. Like, especially when I thought it was really good when Sting went heel, but he was only heel for like a month and a half because Hogan threw a temper tantrum and came out and laid down in the middle of the ring at Halloween Havoc, and they had to fucking scramble. That was the real end of WCW. When Hogan started throwing fits on pay-per-views and coming out in street clothes and just laying down. He did this shit like 3 times.
Yeah. I mean, I started watching in late 97. I probably will watch 98 just to go back and watch stuff that I can't remember when I was a kid.
Wolfpack days.
Yeah. That was like, I had my Wolfpack shirt back in the day, but I saw all the stuff in real time in 99. Like you said, some of it might have been better than what I thought, but I just remember as a kid not really being into it like that, like gravitating more towards WWF during that time. Yeah. But maybe it's better, like you said, maybe it's good stuff that I missed.
Yeah, you got to pick and choose. Like WCW was getting real cartoonish, and WWF was getting like Attitude Era. So like they were going the opposite directions, but there was some stuff in there that was good. Like Sting and Vampiro, their little tag team and feud was pretty good. The Filthy Animals with fucking K-Dog and Rey Mysterio and Juventud. Was it Juventud? Kidman, I think. Tigress, the Nitro Girl. Like they had their whole little clique.
It was Eddie, Ray, Kidman. It might have been Juventud. I find like it's one more other person.
Yeah. They were pretty good. Booker T's come up was fun to watch. Like when he started going by himself.
Like I'm trying to figure out like when they throw GI Bro in it, because I remember GI Bro, but I can't remember
That
like what
was
they tried to do with the Misfits in action, and
that was
it's a
well
mess.
after because he had. You got to remember he was feuding for the TV title with Benoit
Yeah, did the
for a
best of
while.
7. I remember.
Yeah, so he was doing that well before all that shit with Vince. Like well before he got a world title match, he was still a really good singles guy. And like that New Blood shit that they tried to start, New Blood versus the Millionaires Club, like that was lame because like half of the Millionaires Club kept taking time off. So
Yeah, I was all confused about that. Half the company was New Blood, half of it was Millionaire Club. You had the older wrestlers with the Millionaire Club. The Kidman was like the leader of the New Blood, and had all these Fugazi wrestlers, Sean Stasiak on the New Blood, and
a lot
it
of
was just
Tori Wilson
confusing.
TV time back then. I wasn't mad at it.
Yeah, that was good. And then Judy Bagwell on a pole. Like, he had a lot of crazy nonsense. Maybe I will go back and look at it. It's just like a laugh. Go back and look at
Yeah.
99, 2000. We'll see. But they
Pop me an edible and
but
watch a couple hours of old Nitro.
what I'm not looking forward to is I know they go to 3 hours and 98. I feel like these hour and a half episodes are perfect, even though I still even skip around in the hour and a half. Once it gets to 3 hours, I guess the real time would be like 2 and some change, but still like damn.
You
That's
mean
where
you
they
don't want
fucked
to
up.
watch the mean Mike Enos matches?
Yeah. That's a real barn burner right there, Mike Enos.
Versus the Renegade?
Yeah, the Renegade, fake warrior. And I don't even know what I'm gonna do with Thunder. I might just skip Thunder. That's just too much to go through. That's where they fucked up putting Thunder in there.
Yeah, like Collision. Back to today, EJ. Who's your street clothes wrestler?
My street clothes wrestler of the week, somebody we talked about earlier. I'm going with that guy, Orange Cassidy. He switched it up. He came in all black denim jacket, denim pants. I think he even had a black shirt on. Serious Orange Cassidy. That's my street clothes wrestler of the week.
All right, we got power rankings, then we'll talk some NFL and getting the hell up out of here.
I guess I'll go first with power rankings since you went first with the street clothes wrestler of the week. My number 5, a group we talked about extensively earlier. I got Bloodline. I can't keep them off the list, especially a pin over Roman Reigns. That doesn't happen often. 3 times in the past 4 years, like we mentioned. Solo with the Samoan Spike, pinning his cousin. 1, 2, 3.
My number 5, what do you call it? A honorable mention.
Yeah.
I have 2 honorable mentions, Statlander and Swerve. They couldn't make the list, but they should have in a normal week. But a lot of shit went on in WWE this week. But my number 5 is from AEW. It's your new AEW World Tag Team Champions, Private Party. What a match.
Yeah, and the way they set it up is it made it seem like the Bucks were probably gonna go over it. Like the caveat that they had to break up. Like I thought the Bucks were gonna win. I'm like, all right, they're gonna do something with Stokely and maybe have them going their separate ways. But I didn't think that was the way to go. I wanted them to win, so I'm glad we got that result because I don't think they could have. They could have, but I don't think it was right to split them up for them getting a title reign. Tie it all back to them kicking it off with the Bucks winning at the beginning of the company. So yeah, I was happy about that.
My number 4 is now your number 1 contender for the women's championship after winning the Battle Royal, Miss Io Sky.
It was a solid battle royal. Came down to her and Valkyrie. Yeah.
What are they gonna do with that women's world title? Because I'm sure they were supposed to put it on Rhea by now, but now she's out injured again.
I don't know if that was necessarily what they wanted to do. Because when they done it at Survivor Series, I feel like
I feel like she would have been champ by now. Probably a crown jewel.
they never really
If they
did
didn't have
titles.
this. Yeah, you're right. If they didn't have that, I don't know. I feel like all things were pointed towards her winning. Yeah, maybe a Survivor Series.
I don't know. I think they're kind of stuck in like her and Liv just beefing forever. Maybe they could have them do something differently, but I feel like they maybe setting it up for her to win at Mania even before she got injured.
Perhaps. You think Liv would keep the title that long?
See that I don't know. Maybe somebody have a surprise win in between them, but makes sense. But as much they've been beefing with for Liv to keep it all the way till then. Done it before. Becky had it from SummerSlam to Mania.
True that.
So you keep the stories interesting. You could pull it off. So we'll see how long that orbital takes to heal up. Apparently, she did it on the headbutt. From what I heard, I didn't even read. I heard it somewhere. I don't know if you know.
No, I don't know when or how she got hurt. I just know she fucked her orbital bone up.
Well, wish her a speedy recovery. My number 4 didn't make your list. It was your honorable mention. I got Chris Statlander picking up a win on Dynamite against Camille. Curious to see what they do with Statlander. I'm guessing they're going to have her win Mercedes. And isn't Statlander a former TBS champion already? She's the one that beat Jade. Yeah, so I don't think she beats Mercedes. So I'm sure they'll probably do their full gear. Not mad at it. My number 3, he got a big win on Dynamite to close it out. Swerve. Him and Shelton closed the show out. And we talked about it earlier. Bobby Lashley to come out afterwards. So my number 3 is Swerve Strickland.
My number 3 pinned the original Tribal Chief. I put him at number 3 because he's the third person to do it in the past 4 or 5 years. Solo Sikoa.
Solo. Like you said, he's coming into his own.
Your women's crown jewel champion, Liv Morgan. She won a champion versus champion match against Nia Jax. It's a hard thing to do is beat Nia Jax.
That's some shenanigans.
She may have had a little bit of help.
Little bit.
Nobody told Tiffany time to run out there.
Yeah, and while we're on that, like, what's going on? I know they're trying to squeeze the juice out of this Tiffany cash in, but I feel like some of her juice is kind of faded away. Like, remember how over she was at, what was it, Money in the Bank, or back in the summer, the crowds were going crazy, but maybe that's what they want. Maybe they want her to be heel still, and that's maybe why they cooled her down a little bit. But
she turns on Nia, she'll be a babyface.
True that. I mean, it's bound to happen. I just don't know when. But I don't know. Once it happens, I'm sure I'll care. But right now, I'm like, what are y'all doing?
Well, we got an update in the election. Boy, Trump is kicking Harris's ass.
Yeah, you probably got, but that's how it usually starts off, and then you start to see it shift when the more votes get tallied in, especially from the highly condensed area, because the rural area is always coming first, so it'll be closer.
Yeah, this is Oklahoma, Missouri, Kentucky, Alabama, Florida, Illinois. No, it's not Illinois. What's right next to Illinois? Is that? My math is all fucked. My map is all fucked up. Anyway, right now he's up 90-27.
Yeah, you'll start to see it even out. It's gonna be close, but like we said, we'll see the mayhem that happens when everything is tallied up late night or in the morning. But
I think it'll come down to like Georgia, Nevada, and
Pennsylvania, probably.
Yeah, there's 1 or 2 other swing states that whoever wins those will probably end up taking it. I think it'll be close too, but we'll see.
My number 2, this is where I cheat because I just grouping them both together. I got Liv Morgan, Cody, both of your crown jewel champions. Cody Rhodes, I was not really, that excited about him winning. It's like he wins. I just feel like that was a call from the people over there. They wanted Cody to win, and Triple H's like, all right, you want Cody to go over, we'll go over. Like, what does he get from this win, really? I feel like it would have been better for the storyline if Gunther would have won and he could be bragging about it. I beat your champion and have him be an extra asshole, and that would have been doper than me moving forward. But I might just be nitpicking.
Gunther should have won and then took Cody's belt. And they're like,
Yeah.
no, you don't get that one. He's like, yeah, I do. I do. I get all 3 of them now because I won.
Exactly. Like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, what does Cody winning really do?
Gives him another thing to say he did.
And
No, I'm just saying. Just cements him as like the best wrestler alive right now. That's what they want. My favorite part of this match was also my least favorite part because it happened so quickly. But Cody jumping up on the rope, do that little stupid ass backwards cutter, and Gunther's like, I'm not about to wait on you to do that, and just catches him and puts him in a sleeper. I loved it. And then Cody rolled him up, and I was like, what the fuck is this?
I can't even remember that part.
That was the end of the match. That's how he won.
I thought I know the roll up happened. I didn't know he tried to do this Cody's tried to do his little signature thing before that.
Yeah, he tried to do a little Cody cutter where it takes him like legit like 3 seconds to climb up the rope, settle, and then jump backwards. And people just stand there and watch him. And it's so stupid. And Gunther was like, sleeper hole. As soon as you jump back, I'm gonna choke the shit out of you.
That's hilarious. But yeah, Cody again on top. Did you do your number 2 already?
I did my number 2. I only got 1 left.
So my number 1, I think they were another one of your honorable mentions. I gotta go with you're number 5. I gotta go with Private Party. No need to harp on it again. They finally got the title, so shout out to them.
I just shit on the guy, but I got Cody. He did beat Gunther and became the crown jewel champion. I think champion versus champion matches are big when somebody actually wins and it's not like bullshit. And Cody and Gunther put on a good match. And Cody won again. Eventually, Gunther's got to beat Cody though.
Does he?
Yeah, it's like it's kryptonite now. He already got past Sami. Feel like every time him and Cody go 1-on-1, Cody gets the upper hand on him.
Does, especially in the Royal Rumbles. I don't know, man. I know he will, but I don't know if I like him. They're trying to do like a subtle baby face change with Gunther. Like he's being more respectable. He's just being more respectful.
He always has been though.
But
if you beat him, he respects you, and if you lose to him, he disrespects you.
Well, I feel like he was trying to stop Ludwig from talking slick on Raw. I never seen him really do that.
Yeah, but he was also kind of like gaslighting him a little bit, like trying to get him to be more vicious, almost like how Roman used to do the Usos.
Yeah,
I can't remember the exact verbiage, but I remember being like, "Oh, Gunther's got a little oh no, Gunther's still an asshole. He's fucking he's talking shit to Kaiser." And now Kaiser's got to go prove himself because Gunther like basically called him a bitch.
Yeah. Curious to see what they do with that. But I'll be watching out for it.
Well, that's all we got with that, EJ. Let's get to this NFL picks and get up out of here. I don't want to spend too much time on the NFL because
well, Rucker, I admire you went all for it last week, but it didn't turn out too well. We had 7 different picks we picked 7 different lead when we picked last weekend. Out of those 7 picks that we picked differently, you went 1-6. And so last week I went 10-5 and you went 5-10. So like I said,
Jesus.
it was admirable for you to, you tried to play catch up really quickly, but it didn't turn out so hot. So let's see.
All right, we'll make it up. We'll make it up this week.
Yeah. The overall is 82-56 me, 71-67 Rucker.
Yeah, we'll make it up this week.
Thursday night game. Bengals at Ravens. Give me Ravens.
I'll take Cody and the Bengals.
Next up, America's team. Not so hot showing in Atlanta. I bet Michael Rucker was tickled last week. Did he go to the game?
I don't think so. I thought about going to the game. I was looking at tickets, and I was like, if they drop down to like 120 each, I'm gonna grab one after fees, because all the tickets were at the top, and they were dropping, and then overnight, the day of the game, all of a sudden they were like 250 each. I was like, I'm out.
Well,
and I'm glad.
Yeah, with the results. A lot of injuries, man. Like, what's the word on Dak? Maybe he's gonna get reevaluated.
Out 2 to 4 weeks, probably.
Oof. Well, Eagles at Cowboys. I got the Eagles.
I said earlier I wasn't gonna pick the Cowboys, but I can't pick the Eagles. It's just not against the Cowboys. And on top of that, they get Michael Parsons back. DeRon Bland will be back. Who else is coming back? They're getting another guy back from injury. I don't know. I just feel like this is one of those games Dallas will win, and then everybody will start shitting on Dak. Like, see, he's overpaid. He couldn't even win these games, and Cooper Rush comes in and beats the Eagles. And then that'll be the talking point for Stephen A. Smith and everybody for the rest of the week. Give me the Cowboys.
All right. Giants at Panthers.
Ooh.
Who you got?
What's the Panthers QB name? Bryce Young?
Yeah.
Led a game-winning drive last week, a comeback. But Daniel Jones threw his first touchdown since the Chiefs won the first Super Bowl they had.
I think they said first touchdown in
Giant Stadium. I'm gonna go with the Giants.
Man, I kind of want to go Panthers now. I was gonna go with the Giants. It's a toss-up game, even though Giants are favored by a good bit. Who did Panthers beat? Saints?
Yeah.
Give me Giants. I don't want to put too much stock on them beating the Saints. Patriots in Chicago. I have the Bears on this one.
I got the Bears too.
Bills at Colts. I got the Bills.
Buffalo.
You got Buffalo too?
Yeah.
Let's see where you're at on this one. Broncos at undefeated Chiefs.
Patrick Mahomes gave everybody a scare the other night, didn't they? Thought he was out.
Yeah,
but,
he came out booth like Superman.
I got the Chiefs. He's not playing well, and they're undefeated, man. That's what happens when you have a good team. You can have a quarterback struggling. He's been struggling for 8 games now.
Imagine when he finally gets into his stride.
Man, it's crazy. All the trades happening today, Cleveland traded a defensive end to Detroit. Washington got a cornerback, Lattimore, from the Saints. All these really good teams that got a need, their GMs are like, let's go fill it. The Cowboys traded to get fucking Jonathan Mingo or some shit like that, a wide receiver I've never heard of. They traded away a 4th round fucking pick to get a guy we've never heard of. When the Chiefs just got DeAndre Hopkins for like a pack of Skittles, and you give up a 4th round pick for a motherfucker we never heard of. Sorry.
Tell them how you really feel.
I'm just so sick of Jerry Jones. Like, it's almost like he's doing this shit on purpose now.
No, I've said it before. I don't care if it's a detriment to my team. I hope he doesn't live to see them win another Super Bowl. That's dark, but the way he's moving, that's how he's acting. So
This motherfucker come out after the game talking about, oh yeah, we're gonna make some moves before the trade deadline. Getting everybody all excited, and this is what the fuck you do?
Mm.
You had all these wide receivers that have been moving around. Why not go get DJ Moore from Chicago if you want a wide receiver? Why not try to get one of these running backs that you should have drafted when you traded that pick away to get Trey Lance, who, mind you, your quarterback ain't playing. This motherfucker can't even start. And you gave up a 4th-round pick for him. You fucking idiot. God damn it. I'm not supposed to be talking about the Cowboys. I can't tweet about them. I said I wasn't going to tweet about them no more. So I guess this is my outlet. So for Boot to the Face fans, get ready for some fucking rants about Dallas the rest of the year. God,
Got to vent somewhere. Got to vent somewhere. Your hometown Falcons at Saints. I got the dirty birds.
Falcons aren't even good, and they're fucking 5-2. They shouldn't have won that game. Even with the Cowboys, are just a stupid fucking football team. Like, how is it every time you get inside the 20, you get a fucking false start or a substitution penalty when you're about to go for it on 4th down? Oh, here's a great one, EJ. It's 4th and 1. We're going to punt the ball. No, we're going to throw a punt fake on their side of the field. If you're going to go for it, I don't know, why not put the ball in the hands of your $60 million fucking quarterback? If you're going to throw the ball, why are you letting the punter throw the fucking ball? And what does Atlanta do? They go right down the field and score a touchdown. A stupid fucking football team. No fundamentals, no coaching, no leadership, no front office. Fan base is in shambles.
It all starts at the top. Like you said, it all starts at who is the owner of the team, and it trickles down from there. But I feel like this is a nightmare for the talking heads. They love it when the Cowboys do good so they can have something to talk about in the postseason. Now what y'all gonna talk about? Now the Cowboys are playing like shit. I bet you
got people on TV saying Dak quit on the team. James Jones talking about, I had a hamstring and I played wide receiver. I can still go out there. You couldn't take me off the field, but Dak gonna be out 4 weeks. He quitting. Shut the fuck up.
It's just they grasp for straws, but they see how ratings will do when the Cowboys are balling. So it's their loss. You say who you had with the Falcons Saints?
I got the Falcons.
49ers at Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay.
Damn it, you picked what I was gonna pick. Well, I already put my name by it, but I'm not changing it. I got Tampa Bay as well. This is an interesting one. This is a noon game too. I'm surprised it's not slotted at like the later 3, or it's your time at 4 something. Steelers at Commanders.
These are 2 teams I hate the most. I hope they tie. I'm gonna take the Commanders, man. They look good.
Damn it, you picked another one. I'm not gonna switch it just to switch it. I'm gonna go with Commanders too. I think them playing this week is gonna do. This past week did them good, and the Steelers being off, they might be a little rusty. So I got the Commanders. Vikings at Jags. Give me Minnesota.
Oh yeah, Minnesota. Jaguars are trash.
Get it together, Tony and Shy. Titans at Chargers. Give me LA Chargers.
I'll take the Chargers also.
Jets at Cardinals. Who you got in this one?
Cardinals. EJ, your home state, you should be ashamed.
That's the wrong Cardinals.
Red now. I'm talking about the election.
Lions at Texans. This is Sunday night game. This should be good.
I'll take the Lions.
Man, Again, I'm going with the Lions as well. I don't know if you paid close attention. Has the defense dropped off any since the Hutchinson injury?
Not as much as you would think, but like I said, they just traded for the defensive end from Cleveland, not Myles Garrett, the guy on the other side. I can't think of his name though.
Well, they're looking like probably one of the best teams in the whole league. So see how that carries. Monday night game, Dolphins at Rams. I got the Rams on this one.
I'll take the Dolphins.
I can see the Dolphins winning. And buys this week: Browns, Packers, Raiders, and Seahawks. So that's it for picks.
Well, EJ, like we said earlier, the next time we convene, we will have a new president of the United States. Hopefully, some good things happen. NXT's in the ECW arena tonight, aren't they?
Yeah, no, they kind of forcing everybody to pay attention to this election. No wrestling on the night. Wednesday Night Wars tomorrow.
Oh, it's tomorrow night. Okay. Well, hopefully some good shit. That makes sense. Oh man, that'll be fun. I got nothing to do either, so I might as well watch both of them live. Have one on the TV, one on my computer.
I can't do that because I'll be not paying attention. Back in the day, you have to split back and forth between Raw and Nitro.
Yeah. I was just trying to explain that to my daughter the other day. She wasn't grasping the concept. Like, why you just didn't watch one of them later? Because I fucking couldn't.
Unless you set up the VCR in the other room and somebody might be watching the TV. It's very complicated.
Somebody comes in there and changes the fucking channel right when Sting drops down from the ceiling. All of a sudden, Murder, She Wrote is on. It's like, what the fuck is this?
Oh man, MASH.
There's no fucking internet and Twitter to run to and go see the highlights of it. You gotta wait till fucking Thursday Night Thunder now to see what happened. Oh, it's tragic.
Struggle was real back then.
But thanks everybody for listening. Hopefully you got out and voted. Hopefully you had a good weekend. And EJ, you ain't got anything. We'll get up out of here.
Yeah, let's head on out.
For EJ Reed, I'm Chris Rucker. This has been Boot to the Face. Until next time, peace.
Leg drop, boot to the face, we won't fold.